me, Percita, and this is Percita's Paradox. Here we are, Thursday. Super excited, getting you prepared for your weekend, and at the same time, giving you a recap on what's going on in our week thus far. So if you are new to this channel, thank you so much for joining me. I greatly appreciate you and your time. And if you are an OG, of course you know I appreciate your time, but you know I come here for you week after week just to make sure that we can chop it up and make sure that we are good with whatever we're trying to endure throughout our lifetimes. As always, if you can, I would greatly appreciate you subscribing, hitting the notification button, sharing this video, letting everyone know what we talk about over here on the Paradox. In the exact same breath, I'm looking forward to you all giving me all the likes, shares, and comments and thumbs ups, and some thumbs down is fine too. Whenever you feeling the need to just let me know if what I am saying is something you want to talk about. So now that I'm done with my ramble, and it is very, very chilly in my house. I know you're like, girl, you have a sweatshirt on, because my air is down to like 60 something because I feel like I have a gnat issue. Am I the only person? Side note, I just had to say that because that has just been real crazy. I'm trying to keep the humidity down in the house and at the same time kill this gnat thing that I think that's happening. So, long story short, let's chat. And what I'd like to chat about today is something that I have not done for the last minute, which is just breathe. And what I mean by that is we are so busy, right? We're so busy trying to be busy, and there's just so much that we feel like we need to accomplish. And maybe I'm still on some bit of a siesta in my mental from my first vacation, because there will be several. I hate to say it, but there will be. But I don't know. I'm not quite sure what that is. But today I just felt like I needed to share with you that it is okay to breathe and not really be in this rush or urgency to feel as if you are catching back up to the world or creating the normalcy of what I think some people have really pushed on us to make us believe that we need to do or should be at, or like there's some type of a threshold of now that, quote unquote, COVID is at bay, that, you should be doing the things you used to do. I mean, I would like to propose to you that some of the things that you were doing were probably not really needing to be done. And at the exact same time, some things that you needed to do, you may have just started to acquire a skill set for it, or even a taste of what that may look like in your life. And I just think it's just time to breathe and really do a second assessment, right? I mean, we're talking about all kinds of stuff. And, even though I'm not a proponent of believing that COVID is anywhere near over or, under any sense of, what do they call that in the fire world? Containment. I would definitely say it is still a place that I feel like we need to just really make sure that we're doing what we need to do, and that we're not trying to keep up with anything society tells us that we should be doing. A lot of us are talking about going outside. I am one of those people. I am ready to be outside. I am outside. I am vaccinated. I am doing all of what society has called me to do to be a great human being in this world. But at the exact same time, I'm still conscious of my brother man and sister man, and I want to make sure that we're all still taking care of one another, right? I mean, this is a community that we are about. This is something that we all need to be aware of. And, and I love to find my way through life and be as individual and, I don't call it selfish, but for lack of better words, let's just say that selfish as the next, right? Because I cannot and will not be responsible for other people in that sense. But in the exact same breath, taking a breath for me means that you're just really making sure that you're still living in a communal mindset of understanding that some actions that you may have could possibly be detrimental to someone else, right? And at the exact same breath, those actions may be detrimental to yourself. So sometimes you just sit and assess and take a deep breath and really gain your consciousness of what it is you're trying to do, where you are in your life, what exactly needs to happen, what hasn't happened, what's working, what's not working is key. And let's just be honest, it is the month of July. It is definitely the middle of the year. So a lot of us have absolutely come into a place of, I believe, really having a clear understanding of what you're looking for the rest of the year to be about. If you're planning vacations, you pretty much already planned them. And you're probably hoping, as I'm hoping, that COVID doesn't take over some of your travel plans. But in the same breath, in my take a breath mentality, I'm still telling you that it's not that serious. If I'm not able to go, I'm not able to go. I'm not really going to be flipped out about it. I'm not really going to take myself through this analogy of I have to be able to do something, or mad at the government, or whatever it is, because this thing of peace, this freedom of the mind, of not really allowing the anxiety to take over, is really what I'm saying. And in order to be in that mindset, you really have to just let things go and allow them to manifest in the day-to-day that we talked about at the top of the year. They give us a little leeway. They tell us that we can get up and go do stuff, and we kind of flip out and lose our minds. I got it. But I am really hoping today that no matter what we're going through, we're still taking the time to still be grateful, still be aware, still be conscious of ourselves and others, and being as kind and as loving as we can possibly be. All while still doing what it is that you need to do to still reach your goals and fulfill your purpose in what your life's journey should be. It's a lot. And I think the only way to start that process is to start with a deep breath, a slight assessment of your mind state, and just the ability to allow yourself to be in the present. We get so caught up on worrying about what's going to happen for the end of the year and what has happened and the fears of what that leads to. Always remember that all of your actions, all of your emotions, everything stems from two emotions that run the world, run our lives, run the human race, however you want to look at it. And that's love and fear. I've said it over and over again. Everything you do comes from one of those emotions. Try your best as you take a deep breath and release in that exhale that you lean more on the love side and less on the fear, because everything should not have to be feared. And I'm not telling you to just walk around, in the world living under a rainbow and a peace sign and, everything is everything. Be logical and absolutely utilize the fact that some things you have to protect yourself on, some things you absolutely cannot move in that, but as much as you can, try your best to walk and be in that space, because I promise you, at the end of the day, once you stop belittling yourselves and fighting yourself and trying to do more to look like you're doing something or be something that you're not because you think that's where you should be, or telling yourself like it's time and you're just really saying that because you're really anxious, not necessarily that it's time, but you're impatient and you're anxious. Let me just say that. Things can get a little tricky. And I've just learned, truthfully, that no matter how much I try to say that or affirm it or try to manifest it, when it's not the time, it's not the time. Now, I know that some people will be completely irritated with that statement, because you're just like, oh my God, Percita, like, pick a struggle. Okay, well, the struggle is you still have to be in a position of understanding that things are divine and you want to be prepared for anything that's coming your way. But at the same time, don't rush anything, because you also want to be prepared, right? So what I mean by that is, if you rush something, then you may be in a position where you'll get the opportunity and you won't be ready for the opportunity. And at the exact same breath, you don't want to be literally on time for it and still not prepared. So for me, preparation is everything. It falls on both ends of the spectrum. It's crucial for you to really make sure that you're there. And in order to do that, I just think assessing, taking nice deep breaths, really right now, very, very key. Very key. So that everything that you need to see, you're not fatigued, you're not upset, you're not going to make a bad judgment. I've always said that whenever you're making a judgment, make sure that you are not angry, make sure that you're not tired, okay? Because you will literally make crazy decisions and later on go back and reassess them and try to ask yourself, what was I thinking about when I did that? And why did I do that? And so on and so forth. I just saw a meme that said that 80% of the arguments of the world stem from people being hungry. And it's actually kind of true, because a lot of what I've seen, or sleepy, right? It's either hungry or sleepy. And I realize that has a lot to do with the truth of anger and arguments because you're just out of character. You're not really where you need to be. And you want to be as in character, as in your authentic as you possibly can be. So, again, I'm not going to ramble on forever and ever. I just wanted to really come on and say to you today, going into the weekend, do what it takes to literally keep your mental health together. Do what it takes in order to make sure that you're taking this nice deep breath, or 2 or 3, whatever is required for you to really find and assess yourself. Make sure that you are aware that things are really the way they should be, even when they don't really feel like they should, and try to walk in that. Protect yourself. At the same time, be very loving and open and honest and authentic, and do all of those things, because those will keep you protected, believe it or not. The truer you are to yourself is definitely a tool that's going to make it very, very easy for you to be true to your purpose and your life and to others. And I just believe in that. So that was it. That is it for the literal video. As always, I want to make sure you do the 3 things that we talk about. Live life authentic. Be very clear and be very deliberate and very intentional in what it is that you're doing. Absolutely make sure that you're stepping your mind up and keeping it in a place where you're staying as strong and elevated as you possibly can be, and stay around as much positive as you possibly can. I mean, remember, negativity is something that definitely can pull you back. And even when you're trying to be positive, if your surroundings are still negative, understand that that will pull you down. That weight, that anchor of despair will keep you down. Always try to find the positive in anything that you're working in. Always try to be around that type of energy as much as possible. As always, thank you so much for joining me. I greatly appreciate you and your time, and I wish you a wonderful weekend. I'll see you next week. Have a blessed one. Bye-bye.